Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Stepping into the Light with Julia Treat. That's me, your host for today's podcast. It's been a minute, I know. It has been a while since I have posted, and I'm going to explain everything in this podcast today because there's some big changes coming my way. For the past couple of years, I have really been struggling with being in alignment with stepping into the light, what I created when I was still under the spell or asleep. And because this may resonate with some of you who really feel like you are shifting and changing and ascending, which makes it almost impossible to keep doing the same thing that you were doing when you were, asleep. And that's what my struggle has been. And I finally come to terms with that. I've been working through this. I've been asking for guidance and, which direction and all the things. And so I finally feel like I have broken free. And the day that I decided the change that I was making with my podcast is a day that I can't even explain how free I felt. So my podcast will be continuing. But I am changing everything. And the new name is called Returning to Light. And I'm going to explain why I have felt this massive shift happen within me, and then it had to be reflected outwardly from me, everything that I'm connected with. As I have been, doing my due diligence to learn as much as possible. I mean, listening to different things, watching different things, reading all kinds of things with an open mind, not a mind that is, embracing every single thing. This is my truth now. I just really leaned into I am willing to learn, or I'm willing to see or hear, and then decide for myself, like see where it sits for me. And so, the more that I struggled trying to post on Stepping into the Light, my old podcast, which this will be the last day you will hear it called Stepping into the Light, it just became such a struggle that I was like, okay, am I stopping this? I mean, I'm not giving up in any way, shape, or form, but is this where I'm still supposed to be? And when you are born a leader, a lot of us are, and that's not an egoic term, by the way. I think we all are leaders, just some are maybe trying to help others step into their leadership role now, which is what I feel like I've always been trying to do. But when you are born a leader, which my Cosmic Human Design explains in detail that I'm a leader, I did a podcast about that. I will be talking more about that in the near future as well, and having Jaron on as a guest to explain more. It's so important that we understand who we truly are, and these cosmic beings. We are cosmic beings, right? Having this human experience. And if you've followed me over time, you've been through the struggles with me, you've listened to me cry. I never stopped a podcast when I was crying. And it's interesting, like, again, when I came to this realization the past month. It's been a gradual thing, but this awakening, something happened that I have to change. I've changed so much, I have to change my platform. And so I just started thinking about it. Stepping into the Light was created to help people lean into their gifts and their abilities, which I believe we all have. But the more that I shift and change and ascend and change vibrationally, and leaning completely into that we have everything within us. We have this connection with God, Source, the true creator. That is where everything comes from. It's within. Stepping into the light is outside of us. I hope this is making sense as I explain why that didn't jive with me anymore. So when we're stepping into the light, it's outside of us. And returning to light is coming back within. Like, to me, it's so profound, and it's where I am now and what I want to do moving forward is helping others find themselves within. That connection with God, creator of all that is. And so you will see a new logo. I have a new logo, which I'm in love with. And I think if you look at the new logo, it literally embodies that light within, returning to light that is within all of us. And then it's a beautiful logo. I'm gonna let you see it for yourself. I'm so happy with it. I saw it a couple of years ago. I was drawn to it and I loved it. And I didn't know that I just knew I was drawn to it, but it's because it was going to be my new logo. And this all had to happen when I was ready. So this is why I've had the struggle of posting so much on my, I'm going to say old podcast, old way of being. I've just been learning so much about, what it means to reach out from outside of yourself, right? For anything. So I am no longer doing mediumship readings. That's something that doesn't jive with me anymore as well. And I did a reading a few months ago for two sisters who I've done readings for before. I think this was their second one. And I didn't know what we were going into to find out, what was going to happen. But all they wanted was this connection with their father who had passed like 3-4 years before. They wanted to hear from him again. They wanted, and it was painful for me because I wasn't even in that place anymore. Guys, if we're so with ascension, we no longer, when you're ascending, you're not going to crave that anymore. You're not going to need that, right? You're not going to need those signs or those messages from your loved ones. You're going to know that they are soaring wherever they are, whether they've reincarnated already or whatever's happening with them. And I truly believe that keeps us stuck. It does. I feel like it keeps us stuck in that third dimensional loop. It's one of those things that keeps us bound to this, because that keeps us bound in that grief and that sadness of loss, first of all. And that's what I found was not resonant with me any longer. I had no desire to do that anymore. I don't even want to. I want to empower everyone. I want you to understand the power within you. All right? And I really have been sitting back and thinking, what are my guides? My guides, the angels, Archangel Michael, I'm seeking to be more like that, right? To be more like them. And I'm sitting around the other day, I'm like, they're not sitting around going, hey, I wonder what my mom's doing. I can get any sign from my mom. Like, we're in this spiritual war, and they are working diligently to help us get through this and to come out on the other side glorious and prosperous and healthy and beautiful and healed and all the stuff. So they're not sitting around saying, I need a sign from my dad, or I miss my brother, and I got stuck in grief a little bit there. A few weeks where really, at first I was doing amazing when my brother and my dad passed, and then this grief thing showed up and I was in it for a few weeks. I am done with that. I am out of it. I'm no longer in it. I don't need to talk to them every day. I don't need to get signs from them every day, because I have stepped into my power and I know what I'm here to do. And perhaps it's what you are called to do as well. It is to stop your bullshit stories, your programmed minds, right? We were born to succeed, but we've been programmed to fail. Right? God, we are from the Creator. We are here to have the most amazing and beautiful lives. And whatever happened, however many years ago, that it all got fucked up, right? Discombobulated, and all these lies started, and all this stuff started, and we bought into it, and we fell for it. I'm talking about on all sides of the spectrum. I'm talking about religion, schools, the New Age stuff. We fell for a lot of things. And if you really believe or can lean into that there has been a dark force running this world for a very long time, then doesn't that mean that everything has been contaminated? And here's what happens is that they leave some truths in there. So a little bit of truths, like, okay, Julie, you have these abilities, you can do these things, you are very good at these things, but maybe we're going to show you a way that, okay, maybe you're not using all your abilities the way you should now or could now, and now you've intertwined this little dark piece, not knowing it's a dark piece. Okay, so moving forward, I really want, this is what I sat down the other day. I had my epiphany. You know, a lot of coaches and mentors and teachers will tell you to do this. Sit down and figure out who your audience is. Okay, my audience is different now. I have a different audience than I had with stepping into the light. 99% of the people left, and I've been just flailing in between, like where should I be? What is my role now? And it's because I hadn't learned enough yet. I hadn't done enough research. I hadn't looked into things. I even had to watch things I freaking didn't want to. Like I avoided it, going, there's no way, I'm not even going to watch that. Well, that's ego. Okay, so it's time we really do need to be willing to learn. And so I'm really wanting to reach those of you, the light workers, who are seeking truth and transformation. Like, how can we save humanity, if you will, be that light worker that's come to shift humanity out of this hell? How can we do that if we're not even willing to learn the truth? Because let me tell you what, I'm going to be very honest here. It is very easy and fun to stay in spiritual la-la land, okay? And just have the blinders on. And it's funny, I have someone who I used to even teach with. We created courses together, we hung out together, and that person is now calling me the false light, which I found fascinating, as they sent out a quote from Mother Teresa, and I'm like, honey, you aren't even awake yet. You don't even know who Mother Teresa is for real. So I am really seeking those who want or are willing to learn the truth. And I don't know all the truth. I want to make sure you know that. But I will be in it with you to learn the truth. That's all Michael and I keep saying is we want to know the truth. We want to know the truth. And so if that means that I have to look in the mirror and really contemplate certain things that are totally different than what I believe, then that's what I have to do. And then I have to use discernment and figure out for myself, is that true? Is that true? So that is my update about my podcast. And I just did a session. I'm actually calling them empowerment sessions now. I just did a session. As soon as I made that shift, this is it, returning to light, and this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help others step into their divine gifts and divinity and begin to live their quantum life. And I believe quantum life means you must know truth. You must seek it. You must know it. We don't have to know everything, right, to be leaning into our divinity, but we're willing to learn. I'm looking for the light workers that are seeking the truth and transformation, the leaders. You're here for a reason. If you're still here, because let's face it, there's a lot of people leaving, a lot of souls are leaving, and there's going to be a lot more. I don't say that as a fear tactic, it's just the truth. And that's another thing you have to lean into, that I am here for a reason. No matter who falls away, I am still here to make this change. So that's the update on my podcast. I've already changed my branding on my YouTube channel. There's a new banner up, a new logo, and I will be getting active on there as well. So updates on, I want to say this. So the session I had yesterday, and I had one a couple of days before that, and then someone else before that, and it all happened as soon as I made this shift of knowing who it is that I want to show up as, and not who I want to, but who I'm supposed to be here, right? I'm no longer in that entanglement of the old stuff, the old Julia. I'll never be that again. I'm better. And so as soon as you make that shift in your life, whatever it is, your new family, your true soul family will start showing up. And that's exactly what happened. I made that shift, and I'm getting people now that are seeking empowerment. And which I'm like, look, you've been doing your whole life without God, without the Creator. That's why. And we're going to get that empowerment back. And I'm not saying it's that pleading to God for things. It is that feeling and connection with God. So that is who I'm getting. No more bookings of I want to connect with a departed loved one. So don't reach out for that. I'm not doing that anymore. I was going to tell you, you could look, if you're looking for that, you could always check out my friend Olivia Black. I think, yeah, her website is pinkoracle.co, C-O, pinkoracle.co, or you can just look online, Olivia Black, Pink Oracle, and you can get with her for that. I'm interested in those who are ready to step into their own power, their own abilities, the love, the joy, the integrity, the seeking the truth, the wanting to help humanity make this shift and be willing to be the warrior, to stand up and be the warrior at this time. Update on my health. Several people have reached out and asked. So if you listen to my podcast where I was having a lot of stuff happen that, to be quite honest, scared me. Okay, it's the first time I've been scared about my health probably my entire life. There was so much going on, and it had to do a lot of it with my heart. And so I said in that podcast how I just decided to start drinking a full bottle of ASEA every day, just because that's what I was guided to do. That's what I knew. When I say guided, by the way, I knew to do it, okay? I'm guiding myself. That's what I want to help you lean into. You're guiding yourself. I didn't have like a little message from a guide in my ear. It's me. I just knew instantly, intuitively, to drink a bottle a day. So I am on day, I'm trying to see because I was marking things down. I think I'm on like day 63, 64. I was going to stop at 60, but I'm actually stopping when all heart palpitations end. And what happened is I was having about 50 to 100 at least a day. That started. I had congestion. I had nosebleeds and actually blood clots sometimes. I know, TMI. Bleeding gums, which I had never had. I had a resting heart rate that was high for no reason. I had all these things, the heart palpitations. I never had shortness of breath. So when I started this, a bottle a day, and I'm just going to say where I'm at now, everything has disappeared, except for occasionally at night I might have 2 or 3 palpitations, and that is it. So I am on the road to recovery, to my miracle, and I know that. And I'm going to tell you, things happened very quickly. So I started with the bottle a day, and maybe day 2 and 3, the congestion went away, no more nosebleeds within 2 to 3 days. The bleeding gums stopped. I got really sick. I got sick to my stomach, which told me I was toxic, so I had to detox. Now, I do believe this is all connected with spike protein shedding. I did a podcast talking about Dr. Cassone on YouTube. You can look into that in one of my other podcasts. I think it's called Do You Have These Symptoms? So this is affecting most people, if not everyone. It's just the truth, okay? It's one of those truths we got to seek out. That I ask a question, what's going on with me? That same day, then all of a sudden Dr. Cassone's video comes across my feed on YouTube. I didn't even know who he was. This is how we get our answers, right? Watch this, Julia, and learn. Well, I had several of the symptoms already. I think I was already in stage 2 of the 5 stages of COVID. This is the long COVID that they talk about, okay? It's the spike proteins, and it's happening to those that didn't even get the vaccinations. So I am ecstatic to announce that everything is gone except for 2 to 3 palpitations a night, and that's not even every night. It's happening once in a while. Today I kind of actually got the intuitive hit. I could back off a little bit, right? But I am still continuing to go see my mother every month. I will be on 4 airplanes a month, and I will be staying in a facility where everybody's vaxxed. I'm not changing that. I will drink more ASEA if that's what I need to do, but I'm going to see my mom because we're all we got, you know? I got my mom back on it. She was had at least 4 jabs. The 4 that I know of, she might have gotten more after that. We stopped talking about the shots after that. But I did get her on it. We inched her way into it. I didn't want her to get sick and detox and stop it. She is now on 17 ounces a day. I think she said 17. I didn't even know she was up that much. This was 2 months ago she started. The woman could barely walk. Okay, she could barely walk. She was wobbly. I thought she was going to fall over. I thought we were heading to assisted living or nursing home. Seriously, I was starting to believe I had to take the steps to put her into her next place. Within a couple of days, while I was there still on that visit 2 months ago, she was walking fine. Her voice cleared up. It was very weak and gravelly. I'm a speech pathologist, but it didn't take one to figure out her voice was messed up. Everything so much started changing. Her alertness, her stamina, her energy. She had very shortness of breath, would pant a lot. Pant. I don't know if that's the word, but she was shortness of breath, just walking the dog, 20 feet. That has ended. She's doing fantastic. In fact, I'm going at the end of this month, and she feels so good that I'm taking her on a trip. I'm taking her to the Lake of the Ozarks, and we're renting a house. Guys, this is nothing I thought was possible 2 months ago, okay? Do I know if it will save her life? I don't know, but I know that she's not suffering anymore, and that is enough for me. So she's staying on it. She's feeling great. So I wanted to update everyone on that. Okay, I think that's the updates I had. If you want to learn more about ASEA and just listen to other people's testimonials, there's people on there that literally the doctors told them, get your shit in order because you're leaving. You're dying. We can't do anything for you. And they started ASEA and completely healed. Okay, ASEA doesn't do the healing. ASEA helps your body become that miracle that you already are, that walking miracle. It helps your body heal itself. But you can just go to realredoxresults.com, and the password is redox, REDOX. I knew, being the warrior, the leader, what I'm here to do. I told Michael, I'm here till the finish line. Okay, I'm not going anywhere, so I'm going to do whatever I have to, whatever I need to get there. Well, I didn't manifest getting sick. Well, I know I did. So I manifested getting sick, but I wasn't thinking about it. I felt invincible, like I could never catch any of that. But it happened. And as I was speaking with a client the other day who had one of the empowerment sessions, I said, I know it came to me. I know that I contracted this so that I would have to find out how to cure it, how to fix it, how to heal it. Okay, so things happen so that we can discover how to overcome it. Some of us are overcomers, some are not. There's no judgment here. I'm an overcomer. I don't have time or the energy or even an ounce of any want to be anything but that. I have to share a message just from a sweet gal. I'm not going to give her name because I didn't ask her if I could. But she had a session with me, and when I reached out her to send her recording to her, she said, I feel like I've been wearing platform shoes since I spoke to you. Guys, that was such validation for me. I have chills all over my body. That was a validation. I am stepping into the role that I actually think this was the role I was to be in the very start of all this. And then, as I said, can start getting that entanglement of things that aren't of the true light that might take you down another path to do some other work. I was always supposed to be empowering others. So I am standing in my strength, standing in my power. I know that you can hear it in my voice if you've listened to me over time. I'm not going anywhere. I am here as a light worker, and I am here to help humanity make this shift so that we don't ever, ever have to go through this shit again. If you need any information about ASEA, or you want to book a session with me for an empowerment session, you can either email me, juliatreat444@gmail.com, or you can send me a text, 570-780-6737. Please just use that number for asking for ASEA information or booking an appointment, not to start up a conversation. I love y'all, but I really do. I am in my zone, and I will be sharing, okay, so much with you now to hopefully give you the tools to step into your own power, your own connection with the Creator. I'm going to hop off now because I want to go record the very first session that I will be posting under Returning to Light. I got chills, I'm excited, and I hope to see you there. God bless, and namaste.